And welcome back to Fizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling. I am 14 Fitzpatrick, and we continue the show with one of the biggest accomplishments that has happened in WrestleManias in years. Somebody finally beat The Undertaker's undefeated WrestleMania streak. And it's Brock Lesnar who did the deed. He beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. He is now the first person to do it. He is the one in 20-1. To quote the master of the promo himself, Paul Heyman, as they walk down to the ring. This is his promo. Quote, "My name is Paul Heyman, and it is the greatest privilege of my career to serve as the advocate for the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, the conqueror of the Undertaker's streak, a streak that has lasted nearly a quarter of a century that has ended in 3 seconds at the hands of Brock Lesnar. I understand how you feel. You're in shock, which shows me your lack of intelligence because we hate to say we told you so, but ladies and gentlemen, we told you so." He then continues on and says, "My client stood before you in this shirt. Here it is. Now, I know it is difficult for you to read, but it says, 'Eat, sleep, break the streak.' And you had the temerity to doubt the strategy of the greatest manager in sports entertainment. He is Paul Heyman, on the physical credentials of one of the most dominant athletes in WWE ever, Brock Lesnar. Hey, let's get one thing straight. Brock Lesnar is not here to put smiles on people's faces. Brock Lesnar is here to shock the WWE Universe and put tears in the eyes of children." He continues, "But now you know all the headlines, let's go a little bit off page and shoot from the hip." He then talks about how Undertaker collapsed backstage and he was taken to the hospital by Vince McMahon. Apparently, Undertaker suffered a concussion during the match. And then The Undertaker came this close to a broken neck, this close to a cracked skull, and the greatest thing that Undertaker ever did was not getting his shoulder up on that third F5, because if he did, he would have had a broken neck. Brock Lesnar would have cracked his skull. Brock Lesnar was prepared to beat on The Undertaker to such a degree that the complexion of this television show would have changed tonight, because Brock wasn't done until the streak was dead. He continues, "Here's what really gets me. When the match was over, John Bradshaw Layfield and those two other things that call themselves announcers stood up and gave a standing ovation along with 80,000 other people in the Superdome, Hogan, not Silverdome, and gave a standing ovation to The Undertaker, giving a standing ovation to the guy that lost the fight. Here's what I don't understand. Brock Lesnar has always taught me in every fight that there's a winner and a loser. Well, last night, Undertaker was a loser, and whether you like you or not, Brock Lesnar was the winner." "But this is supposed to be the wildest crowd of the year," he continues. "You should all feel empowered." He then states that everybody in the locker room is a wannabe, and that Brock Lesnar is somebody who is a champion. And they never fought in an octagon. They were never the NCAA champion, Division I heavyweight champion, the Ultimate Fighting champion, the undisputed WWE champion. The Rock never pulled that off. Hulk Hogan never pulled that off. Stone Cold Steve Austin never pulled that off. You know why? They're all wannabes. Brock Lesnar is the one. And then he says, and then you got a bunch of guys in the locker room last night coming to me and saying, "Hey, Paul, I could have been the one to break the streak. I could have beaten The Undertaker." So he says to them, "Why didn't you? Randy Orton didn't break the streak. Shawn Michaels didn't break the streak. Triple H didn't break the streak. Know why? They're all wannabes. Brock Lesnar is the one, because Brock Lesnar is the one in 21-1. He continues to say, "I'm sorry, are you saying what to me? Oh, I forgot who you are, so I'll say it slowly for you. Brock Lesnar is the one in 21-1. He then states, ladies and gentlemen, there are WWE Hall of Famers, there are legends, and then there are WWE superstars. And the key to that is that they're all plural. They're all lumped together. And then there's only one who stands head and shoulders above the rest on a platform of his own. There's only one beast incarnate. There's only one conqueror of the streak. And there's only one Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar then dances around the ring, shoving his t-shirt into the faces of anybody who notices, and becomes the greatest t-shirt salesman that I've ever seen in my life. Paul Heyman cuts easily one of the top 5 best promos that I have heard in the 3+ years that I have watched wrestling, and they legitimized Brock Lesnar winning the streak, because there were a lot of people who are not happy about Brock Lesnar winning the streak match. They thought that Roman Reigns should have won the streak match, or Bray Wyatt should have won the streak match. Here's some facts, and this is going to be me cutting a little bit of a promo. Brock Lesnar is 2-1-1 in pay-per-view matches against The Undertaker. Now, admittedly, that was against the Bike Taker persona of The Undertaker, not The Undertaker at full strength. The Dead Man form, basically his final form, sort of like a Super Saiyan form, if you want to compare it to Dragon Ball Z to wrestlers. So Brock Lesnar has never faced against the Dead Man before, but he has faced against Undertaker's Bike Taker form before, and he has beat him twice. And one disqualification victory on The Undertaker, and 1 loss. So the fact that everybody labeled this streak match as, oh, Brock Lesnar is not going to win, Undertaker is going to beat him sadly and then challenge somebody else for WrestleMania 31, hint, Sting, I didn't see it at all that way. I thought, the way that they're telling this story is that The Undertaker is beaten up physically, and to face against a monster like Brock Lesnar is basically akin to career suicide. You know, going up against an impossible force that you cannot simply beat. The Undertaker last year lost his power source, the urn, when CM Punk destroyed the ashes within it. Everybody's melted the urn before, but they've never destroyed the contents within. Important factor. So Punk weakened The Undertaker during his WrestleMania 29 match, which leaves him softened up for Brock Lesnar to completely obliterate The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. It was a brilliant strategy by Heyman. Send in his lackey, CM Punk, to destroy Taker mentally and spiritually so that he would have an easier time with Brock Lesnar, destroying him physically. Which Brock can do, because what Brock does is Brock smash everything. And now Brock Lesnar is one of the biggest heels in the WWE right now. And he is in absolutely perfect position, whether they want to pull the trigger on it or not, for him to face Daniel Bryan at some point at one of the big pay-per-views. Like, for instance, a lot of people are talking about SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar fighting Daniel Bryan. Now, that would be a very interesting match. And there's another challenger who might challenge Daniel Bryan after the Authority has had their run with the Deranged Lawn Gnome, which we will get to a little bit later in the broadcast. But I just wanted to take the time to basically tell you about that absolutely amazing promo, quote the promo, which was absolutely unbelievable, and it was easily one of the top 5 best promos that I have ever heard of in my life. And wow, I've taken up like 9 minutes and 17 seconds of airtime talking about this amazing promo. This was just one segment. This show was chock full of amazing segments. But this was an absolutely amazing promo. There is only one Brock Lesnar, and he is a monster that is going to completely destroy whoever he faces against next, because he broke the streak. He was like Bane when he broke Batman's back. He has conquered the unconquerable. He eats, he sleeps, he has broken the streak in half. And now we wonder what is next for The Undertaker. Retirement, perhaps? A WWE Hall of Fame induction? We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But we do know is this. Brock Lesnar is now the big monster in the WWE now. He has surpassed The Undertaker in that position. And anybody who faces against Brock Lesnar, better pray, better wish, better pray to whatever gods and deities that they worship, because there is no storm or force that is more powerful and more destructive than Brock Lesnar. Unless John Cena decides to turn heel, and then, of course, we have another person that is equally as dangerous as Brock Lesnar, from a strength perspective, and a determination to defeat somebody, and that never-give-up attitude. So, this was an absolutely breathtaking, unbelievable segment that I give props to every single performer who was in that ring, who did their jobs absolutely perfectly. Paul Heyman cut one of the top 5 best promos that I have ever heard, and he was only getting started. Brock Lesnar is eating this all up. He's actually mouthing sections of the promo as Paul Heyman is speaking them. He then becomes the, like I said, greatest t-shirt salesman ever by basically shoving the t-shirt in the face of anybody who's reading it, that he broke the streak. He destroyed it. I love this segment. This was absolutely the right call for Brock Lesnar to beat the streak. He's the only person physically dangerous enough to possibly even consider breaking the streak. I know a lot of people complained about the match, but it was absolutely the right way to go. Undertaker is 50 years old. He doesn't have another great streak match in him. He already had produced several great matches with Punk, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H. So, for him to basically be Old Yeller and be completely destroyed by this younger, hungrier monster, I don't care if he's part-timer or not. This was absolutely the right way to go about this. I'm so glad Undertaker picked Brock Lesnar. This was the perfect person to use in this situation. So, anyway, as I'm gushing about this amazing, amazing promo and this amazing way that they actually did this, a lot of people are going to disagree with these comments. This was absolutely the right way, like I said, for it to go. It was absolutely the right opponent. It was the right way to do it. It was the perfect WrestleMania to do it because it was the 30th WrestleMania. So, what you have here is one of the top 5 best promos that I've ever heard in my life. Anyway, this ends part 2 of this video. Tune in for part 3, where we talk about a tag team match. Rob Van Dam returns to the WWE, and Rey Mysterio is booed out of the building. And we'll be right back.